Hi, Griffins and friends of Griffins. Welcome to your Monday afternoon lunchtime break sweat. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Darian Leader. I'm a certified personal trainer. And what we'll be doing today is a little workout called Buns and Balance. So we're going to work our behinds and we're also going to gain some core strength in our balance. All you need, as you can see, I've set up behind me is a mat or a soft surface. I also have a chair for support, and I've also grabbed myself a book that can be used for an optional weight. I've chosen Modern Nutrition from 1968, so I think things might have changed since then, but it's a great little extra weight if you would like to add that into your workout. Everyone is welcome, all levels. There'll be lots of different moderations, so please don't feel intimidated. This is just a great way to get yourself moving, feeling active, feeling healthy. So we're going to get started in just a minute where we give folks a chance to grab some items and get themselves set up. Okay, so if you want to join me in the center of your mat, we're going to start out with some light stretches just to loosen up the body. So we're going to start by taking our hands high into a pencil, and we're just going to stretch our top of our core to the right side for a nice reach. And back to center, and we're going to bring it to the opposite side. And back to center, and then we're going to bring our right leg into our hand. Here is a good time to use your chair if you need some extra support. But we're just going to give a nice little quad stretch here. If you're feeling confident in your balance, go ahead and bring your hand up, or feel free to grab that chair for balance. And we're going to switch. Just giving yourself some extension, reaching high in those fingertips if you can. Pulling those quads, giving them a nice little stretch, waking them up for our exercise. And we're going to switch sides again. When you're in this position, you want to make sure that your knee is not kicking out. You want it to be right next to its fellow. That way you're not putting any unneeded joint stretch, tension. And last time, let's switch sides. Using that chair if you'd like. And then we're going to move into just some quick jumping jacks, loosening up that whole system. If you're not comfortable with jumping jacks, that's fine. You could do some marches, bringing those knees to elbow. And then we're going to do our last warm up with just some light squats. And let's circle through that warm up one more time, standing tall for a nice stretch to the side. Another side. Bringing our right leg up. Switching, bringing our left side up. Moving into those jumping jacks or marches. And into those last final squats, just to get everything all warmed up. All right, great. So we're going to come to our mat. We're just going to come to whatever end you're comfortable with being the top. And we're going to start with some walkouts to plank. So we're going to do 3 of these here. So what this looks like is your hands are going to come down to the mat. You're going to use them to walk yourself out into a plank. Option for a little plank push-up, and then walking back up. If you're not feeling comfortable with the walkouts here, I would prefer you to do some forward folds here instead. So that would be diving down, allowing your knees to bend if you'd like for that nice stretch, and then straightening and diving down again. So we're going to do 3 of those, either the forward fold or the plank walkouts. Again, option for a little tricep push-up. And then you're coming back up 1 vertebrae at a time. Slowly rising 1 vertebrae at a time. So that's the first exercise in this 3-point series. Next, we're going to move into our little sumo squats. So you have 2 options here. Sumo squats, your legs come wide, hips are forward. You're sinking into the lowest squat you can get, just like a sumo wrestler. And your option here is to either pulse 5 times, and then come up. Or if you want more of a challenge, we're going to pop up on those tippy toes for some balance for 5 seconds, and then pop back up. Okay? So we're going to take this down 5 times. In that deep sumo squat, either pulsing or rising on those tippy toes. Holding for 5 or 5 pulses. Feel free to use your chair here in front of you or to the side if you'd like an extra balance, and we'll rise. And then let's lower. Here we'll do some pulses so you can see both sides of this. And then we'll rise. And lower. And we'll rise. And then let's lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rise, and let's do the one last one here. Lowering into that sumo squat. I'm going to take it to the toes. You can see my legs are shaking and activating. And rise. Awesome. We're going to bring our legs together. This third exercise, we're going to come down to our knees, and we're going to go from a kneel to a low squat, back down to a kneel. So we're staying low the whole time, okay? So what this looks like, I'm going to demonstrate first, is you'd be going from the kneel position, and you're stepping yourself into that squat, and then stepping yourself back out of it. If that's too challenging, the alteration would be hands come down, using them to guide yourself up. Hands come down, using them to guide yourself back down, okay? The added challenge, if you would like to take it, is a nice little star jump in between there. So that would look like this. Coming back down. Okay, so we're going to take this to 4 of these standing squats, starting twice with the right leg leading, twice with the left leg leading, okay? Now I'm going to switch to my left leg as the leader. Coming back down. Last time, left leg leader. Coming back down. Awesome, awesome work. Take a pause here, grab some water, and we're going to run through those series of 3 exercises again. Okay, so we're going to come back up, and we're starting with those sumo squats, okay? So we're going to lower into the sumo squat position, up on your toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rise. Catch your breath and sink back down. You do the pulses this time if you'd like, whichever one you're comfortable with. And rise. Catch your breath and sink back down. I'm just alternating between the toe raises and the pulses. Rise. Last one. And rise. Awesome. Give your legs a little shake out here, maybe a little wiggle of the hips. That's a lot of work on your glutes and your quads. Everything's activating. And we're going to come back down to our knees for those step to squats. Okay? So we're going to start with our right leg as the leader for the first two. Left leg is the leader for the second two. Okay? Again, modify. Use your hands if you'd like some support, or a chair if you'd like some support coming up. So if you're using the chair, it might look something like this. Okay? Here we go. Switch to my left leg as that leader. Awesome. Great work. We've got one more set in this series here. Give yourself a little side twist. You should be sweating. I am. And we're going to do the last set through there. Coming back up for those sumos. Legs come wide. Maybe on this last set, you want them to come a little wider than before. Maybe you're sinking a little deeper than before, okay? So we're coming into that deep sumo squat and either pulsing or toes. And rise. Make sure you're breathing. Rise. Rise, last one. I'm going to do pulses and toes. This is my big challenge here. And rise. Great. Shake it out. Come down to knees. And we're going to do those step up to squats. I'm leading with my right leg here. Switching to my left here. Try to have a nice soft landing so that you're not rocking the whole house. Awesome. Great job. Get some water, towel off if needed. I'm going to check the stream and see if anyone's having any issues. All right, looks good. Okay. All right, we're going to work on our balance a little bit more here. So we're going to come to our mat. Get comfortable. And we're going to start by pushing ourselves up into a downward dog. If you're more comfortable staying on hands and knees, that is fine as well. But we're going to start to work those back pedaling, working the backs of our calves. Really opening that up. And then we're going to come flat forward and using our right leg first, we're going to step forward and rise to balance. Okay? If you'd like to use your chair support, absolutely do. So it depends on how you want to incorporate that into the balance. We're going to bring our foot back down. And then we are going to step with our left foot forward and rise to balance. If you want to use that chair to bring you up, please do. Coming back down, stepping back. Let's rock back into downward dog. pedaling out again. Okay, I'm rocking forward. Right foot's coming forward, stepping to balance. And if you don't want to start in the downward dog position for this, that's fine. You can just simply step back and do it, or use your chair. Bringing you into that balance, okay? Hands come to mat, steps back. And we're gonna rock back into downward dog. And then shift forward. Left foot comes forward, and we rise to balance. Holding that balance. And bringing our hands back down. Or rising up if you're standing from the chair. And we're gonna rock back. And then forward, bringing that left foot forward, and rising to balance. And coming up, give a nice little shake out. Legs come wide, and we're just gonna do a couple alternating toe touches, just to loosen up those joints. So reaching as far as comfortable for you. Maybe it's not all the way to your toes. Maybe it's just to your calf or your knee, just a nice little twist. Okay. We're going to just do one more set of those plank walkouts to balance, okay? Coming out to our end of our mat, or I guess I'll switch this way for a different angle for you all. And we're going to come down to our knees, step back up into plank, kicking back into that downward dog. Rock forward, right leg comes forward, rise to balance. And come down. Stepping back, strong in that plank position. Rock back to downward dog. Maybe bringing your heels down for an additional stretch. Rock forward, right leg steps forward, rise to balance. And stepping back. We're switching into our left leg here. Rock it back to downward dog. Left leg steps forward and rise to balance. Modify however you need to. You'll see that my step is a little wider, just accommodating for a little baby bump, and that's fine. And we'll bring it back down. Strong in that plank, or strong on your knees, wherever you want to be. Rock back to downward dog. Stepping forward. Slowly rise into balance. Awesome. Step back, coming down to your knees. Feet together, knees are wide. Let's rock back into a child's pose for a nice stretch. You've been working hard already. Your head can come to the mat if that's comfortable for you. Just reaching with those fingertips. Feeling a nice stretch. And if you're standing and wanted to use your chair, you could do a nice stretch by leaning back and allowing that chair to give leverage for you to kind of sink into that stretch, just like you would on your knees. Coming forward. Awesome. Let's grab some water. Okay, so we are going to move to the center of our mats. I'm going to bring this chair here just so that it can be really visual how to modify. I'm going to bring it right to my mat here, and we're going to start working into the tree pose. So this is a really great challenge for your entire core. It involves your core musculature working, it involves your legs working, and it's really challenging that whole balance system, okay? So we're going to start here on our mat. Hips are parallel. Feet are about hip length apart, maybe a little wider if you feel like you need a little more stance. And we're gonna just stand tall in mountain pose. So your hands are to your side. You're starting to feel that weight in your heels, so wiggle your toes a little bit. Take a couple deep breaths, so we're really gaining that grounding strength. Okay, and now we're gonna move to tree position. So I'm gonna use my right leg first, and so I have my chair on my left side for stability. Now tree position is gonna bring your right leg up to a certain point of your right foot up to a certain point of your leg that challenges your balance in a way that's comfortable for you. So you can bring it right to your ankle if you like, using the chair or not. You could bring it higher to your calf, or if you're feeling confident, you could guide it up above your kneecap. You want to make sure that it's not pushing against your knee directly and pushing that joint into the wrong plane, okay? So we're going to start here, using your chair if you'd like. You're going to bring that foot to where it's comfortable to balance. And then if you are comfortable, we're going to shoot those hands up, holding in that tree pose. And we're going to hold for 3 breaths. Okay, and we're going to step that right foot forward. We're going to come into warrior 2 position, and we're going to lunge towards that right front leg. Okay, we're going to come right back up to standing tall in mountain, and we're going to bring that right foot back up again for another pose in tree. Bringing those hands up if you're comfortable, or using the chair for support, and we're holding for 3. Breathing really deeply each time, filling your entire diaphragm. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. And then let's step that foot forward, coming into warrior 2, and let's sink. Holding in that lunge, and rising. It's okay, you might hear some ankles creaking and cracking, mine certainly are. And back up. And back up, and from here, let's just take a nice tilt. Left hand coming back down, right hand coming up, looking up at those right fingertips. And come back to center. Great, so we're gonna come back to the center of our mat, and we're gonna switch sides here. So if you'd like to bring your stability to the opposite side, go ahead, because we're gonna work that left leg now. So we're standing tall in our mountain pose. We're gonna bring that left foot up to where it's comfortable for you. And we're gonna rise those hands up. On 3, we're gonna step that left foot forward, coming wide into warrior 2. And we're gonna lunge towards that front left leg. And rise. And rise. And rise. Coming back up, bringing those feet together, lifting that left leg to where you feel comfortable, and bringing up into tree pose. If you're more comfortable with your hands at center, that's awesome too. On the chair, on your hips, whatever works for your balance, it's wherever you are, okay? And let's step forward into that lunge and rock. Rise. Rise. And on this last one, let's take that nice little back bend. Reaching high. Looking up at that left hand, reaching those fingertips high. All right, we're gonna come into this position. We're gonna bring both feet forward from here, and we're just going to bend down, reaching towards the mat, and letting your head come down to neutral and hang. Stretching out the area behind our legs and our back calves. And we're just gonna walk our fingertips to the right, and it's okay if they're not all the way to the floor. They could be anywhere on your body that feels nice. Let's walk them forward. If you're feeling like you like a little challenge here, maybe walk those hands all the way forward for a nice little tricep push-up. Or you can just reach forward for that stretch. And let's walk to the left here. If you're feeling confident again, maybe we come back to center for a nice walk out in that wide triangle pose for a nice tricep push-up. And coming back to center. And then let's toe heel those feet together as you slowly rise. Reaching tall. Giving yourself some gratitude for that balance because that's not easy. Let's twist to the right. And let's twist to the left here. And our last little challenge for balance, we are going to use our book, or no weight is fine too. And we're just going to do a couple step backs with an overhead press, okay? So what that will look like is I'll have my weight right below my chin here. I'm going to step back with my right leg, pressing my weight or book up above, or no weight at all. And then we're going to step forward. So it's just a nice step back lunge. We want to imagine shooting that book right up to the ceiling. We're going to take 5 here. Holding that balance. Once you catch it at the bottom, great. And we're going to switch legs to our left side. I've been stepping backward with my right. You can also use the chair here. So if you're not using a weight at all, that's completely fine. You can use your chair to guide you to step back and back up. Okay, so we're going to switch to that left leg now. Using my ancient nutrition textbook here, I'm going to step back with my left leg, shooting that weight right up in the air. Feel free to take these slower if you'd like. Awesome. We're going to bring it to center here, and we're just going to take a couple squats and press straight up. Squats, press straight up. So you want to imagine you're trying to put a stamp of this book on the ceiling, so it's like explosive when it comes up. Awesome, and just your body weight is great too. We're going to kind of take it back to the right leg. We're going to do one more series through on that right leg, switch it to the left leg, okay? So I'm going to take my legs are together, stepping back and shooting that up. Right leg back. I'll come inside here for you. Ooh, lost my balance on that one. There we go. So if you lose your balance, don't even worry about it. Just take a moment to recover and come right back to it. Last one. All right. A little wiggle out. And we're going to switch our legs here. Stepping back with that left. Awesome. Coming to center. Weight right below your chin. Legs a little wider than hip weight. And we're just going to shoot into these squats with an overhead press. Last one. Awesome. Grab some water, towel off, and then we're gonna come down to our mat and finish strong, okay? All right, so when ready, you shouldn't need your chair for these. We're just gonna come down to our mat, and I'm gonna start by laying on my left side, and you have the option here to either stay up on one elbow, making sure it's directly below your shoulder, or you can come all the way down, whatever's more comfortable for you. And we are just going to lift our right leg up in the air and down, and up, and tap forward, bring it up, and tap backward. So we're just bringing it back to center each time, and then taking it for a forward tap, back to center, and tap behind, and back to center. And sometimes it helps if you bring your hand right by your hips, making sure that they're stacked. Our feet are flexed, and we're just working this through that plane of motion. Working that right leg each time. One more each area. So center, tap back, center, tap forward, and bring your legs together. We're now going to slide them into a bent position. They're stacked one on top of the other. And then imagine that your ankles are glued together. And we're just going to open our knees and bring back down. So you should really feel this work in those glutes back there. And bring back down. If you have a resistance band, you could put that around your legs if you wanted to add some extra tension. But honestly, the body weight is really working those little muscles pretty well. And it's okay if you can't open them very wide. It's all right if it's even just a little motion. And we're just taking this for 10 here. So you really feel those muscles fatiguing in your glutes. Okay. And then we're going to come onto our back. You have two options here, either to be seated up like this on your hands behind you or down on your back. Either way is fine. But we're going to have our heels as our contact to the mat, so our toes are raised. And you're going to rise up for some bridges. So you're just pushing up through those heels and bringing your hips up and lowering. And your challenge here is you can either use both heels on the ground, or you can decide to lift one leg and have it be a one-legged push-up. So if you're doing that, you'll do 5 on one leg and 5 on the other. Otherwise, we're doing 10 total of these on this round. Just pushing up, really squeezing that glute each time. I'm switching my legs here. Just feeling that pelvis rise. And when you look down, it should be all one plane of motion, shooting straight off from that hip. And if you're doing this from a seated position, it would look like this. Whichever one feels better for your body. Got 2 more here. Okay, and now we're going to switch and give that left leg some love. So we're going to go right back to our side where we started. Hips are stacked one on top of the other. Maybe your left hand is here for placement for stability. And we're going to lift that leg high. And then point to the front, tap down. And then tap down in the back. And you'll still feel your whole balance system working to keep you from rolling. And if you do, that's fine. Just regain your balance, take a second, and rejoin. Tap forward, back. meeting in neutral each time in between. You could also put a weight on your ankle if you wanted to. Okay, one more each area. Tap front, tap center, tap behind. Legs together. Let's bring them into that bent knee position. Ankles are glued, and we're going to be opening our kneecaps. Got two more here. Awesome. Then you're coming to your back. And we're going to do those bridge lift ups again. So I'm going to do them from this position now, since I did them from the last position the other way. So I'm just bringing my hands behind my back. I'm up on my heels, and I'm just lifting into that bridge, squeezing those glutes each time. With the option to take it to one leg for that extra challenge. Bringing it up each time as high as you can. Really squeezing those glutes. Awesome. We're going to do that one more time through on each side. So we're switching back to our original side, laying down on our left, hips are stacked where you're comfortable, and bring that leg up. Tap forward, tap behind. Tapping forward, tap behind. One more each area, front, center, behind. Bringing those knees together and opening for 10. About 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Switching to our back, either all the way flat down or up on those hands. Come to your heels, toes are in the air for 1, 2, 3. Really squeezing at the top there. Breathing deeply each time. Last one. Hardest squeeze at the top and lower, coming up, switching sides. Last time on the left. Laying down, hips are stacked, and we're raising. Tapping forward, tapping neutral. Tapping back, tapping neutral. Just moving through those planes of motion, really working those joints. One more each place, front, center, back, center. Bringing those knees in, ankles glued, and we're opening for 10. Last one, you should really feel those muscles fatiguing. Come to your back, and we're going to go up on our heels. And again, option for one-legged or 2. Either way, nice glute squeeze at the top. Awesome. Bring those heels down. Maybe shake out those feet a little bit, roll those ankles one way then the other. And we're gonna come up, and we're gonna now incorporate our whole core and our balance all at once. So we're gonna work the glutes, work the core, work the balance, and we're gonna finish our exercise strong with some bird dogs. So that would be coming to all fours. And from this position, you're gonna take your opposite hand and opposite leg and extend them for a nice reach, staying strong in the core. Back is strong like a tabletop, so we're not sinking and we're not arching. And we're gonna reach, opposite hand, opposite leg, toes are flexed, and we're gonna bring them in for a knee to toe or a knee to elbow crunch and bring it back out. You absolutely don't have to do the crunch if you don't want, but if you do, we're gonna do 5 here. 3, 4, 5. And then bring both hands down together, making sure that those hands are directly below your shoulders. Back is strong, and we're going to take it to the opposite side. So I'm raising my left hand, right leg, squeezing in the glute, and I'm crunching. Great. Bring them both together. Knees come wide. Sink back into a little child's pose here. And then we're going to rise, and we're going to just do that one more time each side. So we're on tabletop. You're almost there. This is the home stretch. You've done so awesome. We're going to reach right hand forward, left leg back, and crunch. Or just stay in that balanced reach position. Or you could certainly lift one leg and one arm at a time. Whatever challenges your balance, that's appropriate for you. Last one. Reach. And so if you're taking that alternative, it might look like this. Reaching forward and coming back down. Reaching back and coming back down. So it's wherever you feel challenged. And I'm going to crunch. 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 One more. Holding strong in that balance. And then all fours come back. And then let's rock back into that child's pose. You did so great. You deserve a break. And I am sweating pretty profusely. So from here, we're just going to come to our back. We're going to lay down flat, and let's take it to a nice straight out pencil stretch on the floor. So hands are reaching high above, toes are pointing below. Imagine reaching a little bit further with each breath. And let's wiggle and flex those toes and fingers. And reaching one more time as far as you can possibly reach in this laying pencil position. Let's bring our hands out to side. And let's bring our knees together in a bent position so feet are flat on the floor. And we're just going to rock our hips and our knees to the right, allowing for those feet to stack one on top of the other. And we're going to look over our left hand, giving a nice little twist in the back there. And then we'll bring our knees back up, and we're going to take it to the other side. So allowing those feet to stack, twisting those hips all the way to the left. And I'm looking over that right hand side. One more breath here. And then we're going to allow our feet to come out straight, sitting up in whatever way is comfortable for you. Let's just extend those feet Just legs out in front and point our toes, sitting up strong. And bring our feet back up. So we're just flexing in and out of our feet. And if you'd like to bring your hands up for an additional stretch, that's great. So we're just flexing through those muscles in our feet, our calf muscles, thanking them for all the work that they did. All right. And we're going to take our hands to the side and comfortably come in to a little frog position here. And I'm going to extend my right leg out. I'm just going to sit in this deep runner's lunge here. Just pointing and flexing my foot. Opening up my quads and my calf muscles and all the way down to my toes. Maybe I'm going to reach for my toe and reach for wherever you can. And then I'm going to bring that foot back in and take the other one out wide, making sure I feel stable. We're not trying to challenge our muscles at this moment now. We're letting them have some time to relax. And I'm just flexing and pointing and breathing. And if you'd like to reach to your toe, please go for it. You should really just feel them all, feeling that tension, letting that release happen. And then let's come back to our frog position, using your chair or your leg muscles to bring you up. And from this position, we're just going to take our arms wide and we're going to just dive down, reaching as far as comfortable, bending your legs if you'd like, maybe grabbing the back of your calves, and just doing a nice forward fold here. And let's just sort of rock to the right and rock to the left. And let's come back up one vertebrae at a time. I'm going to step wide and we're just going to bring some energy into our squats, taking deep breaths. Just allowing those arms to fold like a windmill as we just sort of sink into some final light squats. Just a little bounce in those squats. And when you come back up, let's reach to the right. You're welcome to bring your feet together if that feels better for you too. And let's reach to the left. And let's bring our hands back to center, giving ourselves a nice little twist here. And step together, and we're going to finish with some 3 really big animated shoulder rolls. Forward, and bringing those back, just kind of moving all that energy around you. Last thing, we're going to take our calf stretch again. So grabbing that right foot, reaching high if you'd like for balance, or hand to hip or hand to chair. Just giving that last nice little calf stretch muscle. And lower, and switching sides here. And lower. Thank you so much for joining me. That was so much fun. Thanks for getting me sweating on a Monday. We will do this every Monday at 1 o'clock. If you have any recommendations, you can email me at bewell@chc.edu. We always encourage 30 minutes of exercise a day, no matter what it is or where you are in your fitness level. If it could be walking, if it's just stretching, if it's joining me, that's so wonderful. Make sure you're drinking lots of water, and please be well. Take care.